what it means to be the senior director of product. It's an interesting question. It means, contrary to what most would believe, it means actually to be aware of everything going on in the Bitverse. Staying in touch with every single team and knowing what's going on in the different games. Even sometimes contributing directly to different things within those games and trying to provide direction, trying to identify criteria and make sure that things land on time and that the teams have the information that they need. Obviously, as we create the Bitverse, that is a huge challenge in of coordination between teams, and when things need to land, when things need to be ready, how each team is going to be dealing with some of the NFT assets, etc. Right? Like it's a very interesting job to have, and really having a lot of fun. And I'm happy that I'm surrounded with people as capable as everyone in the team, starting with Rod, who's here today. He's kind of our executive producer on Weavers, and I couldn't do it without him. And obviously, community also helps a lot in getting things done and getting feedback from our community.
Yeah, very cool. Thank you. Speaking of Rod, please share a bit about yourself and what it means being the executive producer for the Bitverse.
Hey, thank you so much, El. Great to see you here and very nice to meet you, everybody. Thank you, Jorge, for your kind words. I think you exaggerate. The team actually does all the magic and the effort. My experience as an executive producer in the Bitverse is simply incredible. I just get to work with so many talented people and passionate people about a great game that I'm also a fan of. One of the perks of my work is to be able to get my hands on upcoming games like Beat Heroes Arena and Beat Heroes Runner, um, and get to see how fun they are before almost before anyone else. Um, it's also a busy work and hectic work to try and make sure that everybody knows what they need to do and when they need to do it. We have many games, many projects, and a huge team to coordinate. But it's a beautiful challenge, to be honest. It's a privilege to work with this team. And as soon as I started to learn how the community as well engages with Congregate and the Beepers team, is also incredible. I come from making games where communities are everything to us. So when I found that Beepers community, the Beat Heroes community was the same. It was a pleasure. So everything I do is for you guys, and that's my job, doing everything that I love, coordinating people, but with amazing games.
That's great to hear. Thank you. It's really awesome working with the Bitverse team, the Bit Heroes team. And you're right, this community, I've worked on a few different communities with Congregate, and the Bit Heroes community just remains in such a special place in my heart. um, moving on, Francisco, please share a bit about yourself and what it means to be a marketing manager working on the Bitverse.
How's it going, everybody? I'm super happy to be here. Well, I got a pass as an influencer, e-sportcaster, so I love video games. It's been my passion since a little kid. So now to be part also of this Bitverse project is like a dream come true. I'm a huge fan of Beat Heroes. Is for me one of the best RPG games ever. I mean, I spend so much time playing the game, which is also part of my job, by the way. It's not like I'm just playing, but it's really interesting to be a part of this amazing team. I'm going to extend the same words that Jorge and Rod were saying, that we're working with this group of people, professionals, is just amazing. I mean, I've been learning so much, and I'm also super happy to be able to share my knowledge also in the marketing area with the rest of the team. My job is marketing manager, so I'm pretty much everywhere. I'm in every meeting that you can imagine, but which is great because I need to be on top of everything, trying to coordinate different events with community, contact different agencies. So it's been fun. It's been super great, and super happy one more time to be part of the Bitverse project. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, so let's get to the questions. The first group of questions we have are a bit focused on the Bitverse. This first one, these Q&A sessions usually start at 11 p.m. for me in the UK. Would you consider occasionally holding them on a Friday or at a different time to accommodate listeners in Europe and other time zones? This one,
I'll
I think,
take this one.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'll take this one. Well, we have discussed this internally several times, and we're the efforts that we're trying to make to reach as many fans as possible are huge. We have a big team purely dedicated to that, and we are looking into different ways to reach and hold Q and A's on different time zones. Um, and as soon as we know exactly what are the best ways to do so, we'll let you know. We'll try to reach out and give you the official schedule. Um, in addition, I want to also communicate that we have created a YouTube channel where we're uploading all the Q&A and AMA sessions. I think that we can provide the details later, but is in the Bitverse official channel in YouTube. So if anyone wants to check out the previous Q&As, please visit the YouTube channel.
Great, thanks.
But in summary, we're completely open to assess it, and we're trying to find ways to give you those Q&As on different time zones.
Awesome. This next question may be for Jorge. Will a player's Bit Heroes progress give them anything in the new Bitverse games?
So that question, I mean, who doesn't want to have cool looks when they join a new game, right? I think that's probably where I would start. I think customization options and the avatar perks are the main advantages of holding an avatar. And we want to have a gameplay experience that it's balanced, right? And we want to focus on play and earn. We don't want to give sort of advantage to anyone because they own an NFT for a new game, right? In the sense of a gameplay advantage, right? That's not what we're looking for. Yeah, you will look great. You'll get some of those juicy perks from holding an avatar if you have one, like getting extra gems when you make a purchase, or having access to the play to earn features, which are already good advantages in their own and good perks to have, but that won't impact your progression as a player. That won't give you a head start compared to anyone else.
This next question for Francisco. What kind of new events are you going to implement in the game, and will you keep the same format or come up with something new?
Well, right now the Beat Heroes community is on fire. I mean, we have a bunch of different events. We have community events that are running inside the Discord server. We have some other events that are running in different social media accounts that we have, for example, on Twitter. And we have a bunch of different kind of prizes. I mean, for example, we have in-game items. We are giving away tokens. One of the things that was really amazing that we announced recently, it was the partnership with the Immutable X, which is it's gonna be great to be working with them in putting all the blockchain things together. So Immutable X was super kind, and they decided to give us tokens to give away to the community. So we're doing those kind of things. For example, today I think the giveaway was for around 5,000 IMX tokens, which is a lot. It's crazy. So it is really important for everybody to not just follow us on Discord, is follow us in all the different social media accounts that we have, especially on Twitter. We're trying to do constant different giveaways and events to keep the community happy. And now, can you imagine this across all the different games that we're gonna have in the Bitverse? Just gonna be crazy. I mean, we plan to have a season pass, so there is many things happening in the Bitverse. So we are super excited about that, and we expect that you guys also are very excited. And the other thing that we expect to have very story-driven events. So, well, I don't want to talk too much because otherwise Jorge is going to say, hey, you're talking about some confidential stuff. But it's just to give you an idea the what we're trying to do an exciting event to keep the community super happy.
That's great. Story-driven events across all the games. Very exciting. This next question is for Rod. It's about Bit Heroes. There are some bugs that seem to be affecting the game more than a lack of new content, specifically world boss bugs. Is it possible to stop pushing new content and allow the team to catch up on bugs, maybe making a bigger impact on the game?
Well, of course it's possible, but what we're trying to do is to find a delicate balance between what the existing community needs and also what the new players need. And our team of engineers and artists are constantly working on improving the game. And this includes finding and fixing bugs and also providing new content. Probably if we only dedicated time to bugs, we will be able to fix most of the most relevant bugs. But at the same time, we will create a void of new and exciting things to do in the game for the most engaged players. So along with our community management team, we prioritize bugs in a way that maximizes the positive impact and the effect that they have in our players. It goes without saying that we'll continue working hard to fix issues, and you will be able to see that with every new update that we provide for our game Bit Heroes, you'll see that we're gonna be fixing some bugs. So it's a step-by-step process that, trust us, we always have you guys in mind when we're trying to decide what to do first.
That's great to hear. Thank you. Jorge, with the upcoming projects, do you think some or any form of trading system would be cool?
Yeah, definitely. At the end of the day, this is what NFTs and marketplace is gonna allows us to do, right? Like, you're gonna be able to have ownership over these items, and that means that you're gonna be able to trade them, right? And I think we've been talking a lot about the recycling of resources in a way, right? Like, hey, maybe there's this item that I don't need anymore that I can get some money for, or I just got lucky, I got a super exclusive item, you know, I turn it into an NFT, it's worth a good amount of dollars or whatever, and I would like to make something out of that. Those are kind of the cases that a lot of people are talking about when it comes to play and earn. But there's another one that, you know, people are not thinking about, right? How many times you've come to a game, you know, and you've been playing it for several months, love it, you try to get your best friends to go play it with you. You know, you're already 4, 5, 6 months ahead of them. Now, thanks to the ability to be able to trade some of these NFTs, you can get your friend up to speed much quicker than before, right? And I think that's another advantage that a lot of people are thinking about. Yeah, it will be cool.
Great, thank you. Rod, this question is for you. When will the Battle Royale Bit Heroes Arena be released?
Well, we're planning to release Bit Heroes Arena during fall. We'll be doing closed beta with players beforehand, so some of you can enjoy the experience of what's to come. The specific date has not been defined yet, but it will be during fall. And some of you will have the exclusive opportunity to play the game. And also, I'm pretty sure Francisco will continue showing you sneak peeks of the game.
I'm gonna jump in 1 second there. Maybe some of you don't know, but the game was originally, before we decided to create the Bitverse as a thing, the game was originally scheduled to launch, end of 2021, beginning of 2022. And I think I compare that game to the game that we have today, and also when I see some of the changes that are coming up, some of which Rod has been key to kind of achieve. I'm just so excited. Like the game looks so good and it's so fun. Like I gotta say, Fridays we do spend an hour. Just maybe I shouldn't say this, man. I'm getting in trouble, but we get some beers and play the game for an hour every single Friday. Have so much fun with it. It's amazing. I tend to win and beat everybody.
You drink beer.
Yeah.
Not bragging. It's really fun.
It is really fun. Every time that they announce a play session for the team, we have so many people who wants to join. It's ridiculous. It's just so much fun. And with every update that the team is start releasing internally, we are pretty sure that you guys are gonna love Big Heroes Arena.
Yeah, so hype about Bit Heroes Arena. I'm sure there's lots of people looking forward to hearing more about it. Shifting gears a little bit, we'll just sort of fill in some questions for fun. If you attended the group event last week, they watched a movie together. So we've got some movie related questions today. Rod, Francisco, Jorge, what's your favorite genre of movie?
Ooh. Who's gonna start this? I always have problem trying to decide my favorite genre. It's just, I think between war movies, horror movies, and sci-fi is just my bread and butter, I guess.
Yeah, I think fantasy and sci-fi for me. A huge Star Wars fan, and obviously loved The Lord of the Rings. So yeah, I think those are my two favorite movies in sagas of all time. Except the latest 3 movies from Star Wars. So sorry. Suck. They never existed.
Hot take.
Yeah, I think I would say comedy, just to relax. I enjoy them.
Well,
Yeah.
Run like.
we're relaxed all day. Yeah. Our life is a comedy.
I don't
Jesus.
work. I don't work. I only watch movies.
That's great. I'm definitely a fan of like hybrid genres. So like, a fantasy war movie, sci-fi comedy. Yeah, so let's head back into our Bitverse related questions for a little bit. What is your next move for the Bitverse, Jorge?
That's an interesting question. The avatar pre-sale is the most immediate thing in our radar. We're getting all the avatars ready. The website is getting prepared as well. It's really cool to see all of these things coming together because multiple teams working on this, and obviously with COVID and people working remotely, it just makes it very interesting to see things unfold. And Arena and Runner are going to be released this year, and I think kind of the 3 biggest milestones within the next months. Obviously, we're going to be building other features, blockchain features for the site, like staking. We will be holding our ICO, and we'll be discussing what the next games are going to be. We're going to close them, right, in terms of going to be a CCG in the end? Is it going to be the tower defense that the community is asking for? Let's say, but we're closing those, and it's really exciting to see prototypes going around, and it's amazing. I'll say I've worked in games before, right? Obviously, I have 10 years of experience. I've seen one game being developed by now, but now it's like there's 3 games getting developed at the same time as a website at the same time as we're thinking about adding 2 more games next year. It's bonkers to a degree. I don't know how we're doing it, but it's incredibly fun and enjoyable.
Definitely, we're having all kinds of fun across Congregate. Tell me, each of you, what excites you the most about your project?
One at a time.
Go ahead, Francisco. Go ahead.
I don't know. For me, because a Red Bit here is so exciting. It's just the idea of traveling with your character into different dimensions of adventures. I think that's awesome. I mean, being able to use the same hero in a battle royale game, in an RPG game, in a runner game, and in some other games that I'm not gonna spoil.
And
Yeah,
something there, right? Like there's something to that idea that it's cool in terms of you're gonna have this thing and it's gonna be able to play with it in so many places. I don't know, it's definitely something there.
Me, I
Rod,
think.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I fell asleep. Oh no, just kidding. I think for me the most exciting thing is that, and I want to sound as honest as I can. Um, it's incredible how much attention to fun we pay in the Bitverse. This is not about just making something to attract people. This is about a really fun game and making more fun games that actually work well together and stay funny. And that's rare in the industry. Many people are purely in because of the money, and you see our team of developers, starting from Marcus, our CEO, below the attention to that this needs to be fun and entertaining for everybody, and not only the work but the games. That for me is incredibly exciting.
I think I did talk a little bit about that too, right? Like for me, it's building this universe. It's seeing all of these things unfold. Is having the ability to see and work on so many games around the same IP, right? Like as a fan of sagas, right, such as Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. I've also been a huge WoW player and Wizard fan in the past, right? So kind of having the ability to do a degree, obviously, and with a lot of distance between things, being able to do something similar to that in a way, right? Like building this universe is just incredibly enjoyable. But
Yeah, that's really cool hearing about how everybody's really focused on like the fun and the quality of our projects, but you've each pointed out a little bit something different from each of you that you're really pinpointing as like something exciting to you as a person. So for each of you being with your different points of view, tell me a little bit more about movies. If you could live in any movie universe, which one would you choose and why? I have a feeling I might know which one Jorge will say.
I know Jorge will say Marvel.
yeah,
especially the stars.
Yeah, Star Wars for sure. Though a lot of people tend to die in there, so it's a risky place. They come with bigger weapons, bigger because they also tend to be smaller, but very deadly. Probably Star Wars, yeah. Just because I love lightsabers, the Force. And,
How about you, Francisco and Rod?
The Force is strong in Padawan Jorge. Yeah, in my case, I'm a huge dinosaur fan, so for me it's a no-brainer. I would live happily in Jurassic Park. I'm not sure how happy because probably I'm gonna be running all day trying to survive, but still, I feel like it's super exciting. Just no question about it. I love Star Wars too, but being surrounded by big monsters, it's golden.
Sure. I thought I was in danger of dying in Star Wars universe, but Jurassic Park, like no problem there.
I take the risk.
I think I would choose Middle Earth. I think
Ooh.
Because
I
you're
really
small.
enjoy the Lord of the Rings.
Like a hobbit? Yeah, that's.
Yeah, the opposite of what I am in reality.
There's so much you
For
can
sure.
do in Middle Earth too. So very cool. Let's see. Heading back into our community submitted questions, we have a few related to NFTs. Here's one for Jorge. Will there be a change for those who have already purchased NFTs on the website?
Yeah, so those initial NFTs were kind of proof of concept, right? As we were kind of exploring the space. We currently have no plans for them at the moment. You can be able to still, if you own one of them, be able to still use them in bitheroes Quest. And they're limited in their functionality in the sense that they are kind of what we call only items. That means that their state cannot really change. Like they are what they are. You cannot upgrade them. You cannot do more with them. Those are going to stay where they are. Maybe in the future, if we find a way that it's relatively quick to turn them into the IMX network, like we'll see what we can do. But at the moment, no plans.
Great, good to know. Let's see. Here's one for Rod. What are the top priorities for your project this year, and what plan will you do for the development of this project? What's its vision and goal, your targeted user?
Well, pretty much as Jorge said before, the number one priority is the avatar pre-sale, where our team is working really hard to create amazing and cool, unique combinations for everybody. I think achieving something that our users can really say that, or that they can really relate to the avatars. I think that's a big priority for us. It's not just about creating combinations, but about creating something that is meaningful. Our second priority needs to be our upcoming game, Bit Heroes Arena. It allows you to play against 39 players, well, in total 40 players, right, on your web browser with Bit Heroes, which is really cool. So that's one of the reasons why we're wasting so much time on every Friday. Also, we're planning everything so players can get their hands on into BH Arena and avatars. Hopefully, everything at the same time. So as soon as you get Big Heroes Arena, you get the avatars so you can see them both on both games at the same time. And for this, having a strong Bitverse website is also really critical. We're putting a lot of effort on making our website that is user-friendly, stable, safe, secure. So those are really our top priorities. Last but not least is that this is not, again, and maybe this is repeating myself too much, but we're not making this for us. This is for you, our Bit Heroes fans, who will enjoy the games in the end. And you'll enjoy them more than anybody. So if you want to play Bit Heroes, have an adventure, kill monsters, fight your friends, and own as well incredible avatars, we're working and we're doing everything for you. Probably that's the last time I'll repeat the same thing. We're doing everything for you guys.
I'm doing this for myself too. Come on. Yeah, I love what I'm doing.
No. Not for
I
you,
jumped
Jorge.
around a bit. Yeah, sorry about that. So we've got actually more questions about NFTs for Jorge. Could you tell us, can NFT items be melted for materials?
Ooh.
So this is an interesting question because we are definitely talking about this. So internally, right? So I'm gonna give you opportunity and the question to you guys. What do you think? Should we allow for this type of behavior or not? Maybe Elle can put a poll asking the community um, whenever she has a moment.
Yeah, great. I'll put that poll up. So give us your thoughts. Should we allow NFTs to be melted for materials? Yes, no, or maybe. You can comment with more details. I'll make a thread that you can use. All right. The next question for you, Jorge. Are there going to be more NFTs later in the near future?
I'm assuming that the question is relating to the avatars themselves, the NFT avatars. That is the case, then yes, the answer is yes. We plan to keep minting avatars over time at a much smaller scale, right? Also, thing to take into account here is that the price of each subsequent generation of avatars will increase. So, trying to do two things by doing this. One is we obviously want our community to have an edge right here in terms of having access to the avatars and getting them a good price compared to people who might come later. And also we want to make sure that we look at it from the value perspective, right? Like we actually respect what people are going to be putting their money into, right? This is another variable in the equation that we need to into account moving forward. We cannot, keep minting forever more and more and more and more avatars because that will devalue the previous ones, right? So at the end, the amount is going to be finite. Yes, we plan to win more, but be more expensive and probably in smaller quantities.
Great. Good to hear that that's all on your mind. So tell us what
a lot
can
of
you
things.
what can we expect? Oh, sorry. Please go ahead.
I'm sorry, El. Yeah, so I was thinking how cool it's gonna be in the future to see what could be the value of the Gen Zero avatars that they go with the pre-sale. I mean, with the NFT pre-sale. So it's exciting. It's exciting. We'll see. But as Jorge was saying, it's not about making 3 million avatars. It's about doing quality avatars and make sure that people wants to have them. Like give that Pokemon effect to the players. Huh?
They're meant to be something special, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. So could you tell us what can we expect from the NFT in the face of Bitcoin devaluation?
So good question as well.
Ouch.
I'll say that it's ouch. And I'll say this is not the first crypto winter that we've been over, right? Like previous times, the value of Bitcoin and Ethereum decreased by almost 80%, and then they came back stronger than ever. They double previous valuation, that's been crazy. So I think that it's different this time, right? Because people talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum as if they are the only currencies out there. So many other currencies now, so many projects, right? Like real projects behind some of those currencies that are trying to do something different, that are trying to contribute to the space in different ways. And, by providing clear use cases, there's huge support behind them, right? Like, for example, IMX, right? They have their own coin. They are using their funds to build games in this environment. I don't know if the community has heard about it, but Congregate recently had a partnership with IMX, and they're supporting us, and they're trusting on crypto gaming in the future, right? We already have 2 or 3 projects that are really really interesting. So anyway, regardless, crypto winters definitely have an effect on NFTs, but we're optimistic about the future. I think that's the bottom line. And something that I would say is that this might be a really good time to jump in because if you look at it, prices are low today, right? It's not financial advice, by the way. You know, I personally consider it's a good time to join.
Yeah, people are always
Great.
searching for this moment. They're trying to think what is the best moment to get into this cryptocurrency world. You know what? For me personally, too. Personally, it's not any financial advice. This for me is the perfect time. I'm just putting my eggs everywhere. So
I feel like I feel so weird. Like I feel like one of those YouTubers, like no financial advice.
you have to say it. Are you talking about me or what?
Are
Or
we
others?
like do we need to? Are we obligated to say that? I don't know. Anyway,
Just in case.
Good to cover your bases.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, sounds good.
Speaking of a different aspect of NFTs, will people be able to equip NFT gear even if that gear is normally acquired above their current tier? So, for example, a tier 3 character being able to equip the 64-bit clover.
This is another one of those things that it's still in discussion because obviously this would have an impact in terms of balancing of the games, right? And particularly Quest, which is where this question is coming from. Obviously, you can break the game, and that's something that we don't want to be very careful about. At the same time, it's kind of one of the reasons why being able to own your items and transact them is so cool, right? It's like, hey, I could come tomorrow, buy this thing, and not have a problem in BitHeroes for the next 2 months. A new player. So, defining where do you put the line there is very important. And if you put the line, so we again discussion we're having with the teams, with Lime in particular as well. He's very involved in that. And yeah, we'll keep you posted. I have a fixed answer right now. If you have any thoughts, I'll post them on the chat and we'll keep a close eye on them.
Great. So we are getting towards the end of this session, but if everybody doesn't mind answering a few more questions, I've got some community-related questions. For Francisco, in the last Q&A, there was a showcase of BitHeroes Arena. So people do want to know, how can we be a part of the beta tester program? Is it open for everybody?
Of course, it's open for everybody. The Bitverse is for everybody. That's the motto for the project. Yes, it was really funny because after showcasing a gameplay of Beat Heroes Arena in the previous Q&A, we got a bunch of people interested to join the plan. I mean, we have more than 40 right now members. They're super excited about, okay, we want to participate in this, and for us is so important to develop these games listening to the community. That's one of the most important things in order to have a successful project. And in our case, it's something that we wanted to do so badly with Arena. So that's why we decided to create this special beta tester program. So people are gonna have access to the new features. You're gonna be able to play the game before. You will be able to play with the developers. You can also share some feedback. There is some perks, which I'm not gonna say what they are, but yes, there is a lot of things happening, tons of rewards for people who wants to participate in this beta tester program. So yeah, we invite everybody to join. I believe on Discord we have the form that people need to fill in. It's super simple. So we hope to have hundreds of people interested, so we can maybe we can start running tournaments with special prizes. I don't know, I just probably talking too much, but yeah, the idea is that the program is open for everybody. We want everybody to participate, and you can sign in now.
That is so exciting. I'm hyped for playtests with way more people to basically kill me in an instant. Another question for you, Francisco. I think Rod touched a little bit on this with the idea that we're not just making games for us, we're making games for Bit Heroes fans, really focusing on the fun. So why don't you tell us in what way you're focused on the user experience? What are you doing to bring the best UX, especially to new users?
That is actually an excellent question. I mean, in the past, I had the opportunity to work with many different NFT and blockchain projects. And I believe one of the most important part is to create that user experience to make sure that people are happy with what we're doing. Okay, also be part of the decisions that we take for the project. So, yeah, one more time, this is critical in order to have a project that can last over time. Otherwise, it's going to be a short story, and that's not what we're trying to do with Bitverse. So, of course, our priorities are, for example, in the area of the community, we are creating different events. We are doing these Q&As every week to keep people informed, answering your questions. We want to make sure that if you have something in your mind about Bit Heroes, Quest, Arena, Runner, or the whole Bitverse, we want to be here to answer those questions. And I think creating that relationship between the developers and the community is so important to have a successful project. And the other hand, we have the developers that are keep creating new content, keep creating new features in order to keep supporting the titles. That's why when people were mentioning, okay, what's going to happen with Bit Heroes Quest once that you start releasing the Bitverse? You guys are going to completely forget about that one? No, of course not. That Bit Heroes is the core of everything. We cannot do anything without Bit Heroes. So for us to be successful, we need to keep developing new features, fixing bugs, and do whatever we can in order to satisfy our community, starting with Bit Heroes. And then we can start replicating that same model with the rest of the project. So yeah, it is important for us to be able to show to the players, to investors, that we are planning to do. We are doing a project with we expect to have a big longevity, I would say, and that's something that you can achieve when you have a good contact with the community, when you have a great team of developers creating new content all the time, when you have people like Jorge, like Rod, willing to answer the questions. I know they're super busy. I mean, seeing the calendar of Jorge is just ridiculous. I don't know if he had time to go to the bathroom during the day. It's just too much. So for me to see Jorge being part of every single Q&A in AMIA, that really showed that we are definitely putting the community and you guys, everybody, to be on front of everything. So, to be successful, and we need to have happy players so they can probably become future investors. So that's the plan.
That is so great to hear. As a community manager, being kind of on the front lines of both the best and worst feedback, it's so great having people involved with the project who truly care about what their players are saying. So thanks for sharing that perspective. We're about out of time. Well, we have been out of time. So we're going to wrap this up. And I just thank you to the three of you for joining us. Thank you for all of you who are here listening in. Our next Q&A session will be scheduled soon. So stay tuned into the announcements channel. Check back the events section of Discord. And we'll see you soon. Have a great evening and a great weekend ahead of you. Thanks all.
Thank you, everybody.